on my way to Philly, South Philly, in South Philadelphia, born and raised, even though it's not. I wasn't born and raised in South Philadelphia, nor does the song. And now in South Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days, chilling out, maxing and relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of school. One a couple of guys, they worked no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight. My mom got scared. She said, "Your mother was there. I teased my girl on my leg." Anyways, yeah. So I'm about an hour change out from Philly. It's such a short trip when you go at certain times because if I was going midday, one time I went to pick up my sister on, I can't remember now, Thanksgiving, some kind of national holiday, and she was traveling then, and it took me 4 hours to get to Philly, New York. And the trip is only but 120 miles, maybe slightly less depending on where you leave from. So 2 hours, 4 hours each way was insanity. The traffic was just insanity. But on a Saturday morning, the roads are great and clear. I encountered, a tiny bit of traffic getting through the New York side, Staten Island, a little bit of traffic, but I'm Gucci now. It's going to be a straight hour. I'm probably even going to stop a little bit just to have a little bit of something in my stomach. That's about it. Now, what else? Where else are we going with this? Yeah, so I got on here yesterday. Subscribe to my channel as a channel member. The channel memberships are $2.99. I know people whose channels have $10 memberships, 15, 30, up to 100. And that's just for, I mean, I guess it also depends on what you're providing. So I will say that. But I've shied away from certain topics to put them on my page because I haven't liked backlash that's come with that and different questions that I've had to answer and things that I've had to account for. But that's not the way that I live my life. I don't filter myself in real life. I filter myself on here. But I said to myself, that's what we have a membership option for, so that I can have times when I have things that I want to share more raw and unfiltered, or if somebody has something they want to debate with me, you know, we can do the whole debate and then I throw it on my membership page and my members can get the replay. Because, y'all are doing it to support me and I appreciate that. But I always am like, you know what? I want to do my best to give more exclusive content for the people who are paying that to my channel. So yesterday, the reason I'm saying all that is because yesterday we were having a debate last night. Hi, Aaron, and hi, MAJ Crew. Yesterday we were having a debate last night, which I put into my membership channel. And the debate was, because I will no longer name names, just because I don't like to give people undue light. So the debate was, I put it on my YouTube shorts also, but for anyone who's on here now, if I am having a discussion or a debate, let's even call it a friendly debate, I'm having a friendly debate with a friend, and then there's somebody else that is listening to the debate. It's not a random stranger. We both know the third person in this conversation, or not in the conversation, but the third person who's present. And the person is saying nothing the whole time, and then all of a sudden, they just make a decision to just jump right into the conversation. And they join me in agreeing with me and, like not, they're telling the other person, yeah, Mark is right. Because all you do is you like to attack people and this and that and that. And let's say that's not even what I was saying. That's not even what I was saying to them. But this third party came and said, yeah, me and Mark think like this about you, and me and Mark think that, and me and Mark think this. I guess there's two frames of thought on that. One frame of thought is, hey, I didn't say it. So since I am not the one who said those words and I did not co-sign what they were saying, that absolves me of any responsibility for what they said, which was the other party's points that they were making yesterday. Don't attach anything to me that I didn't say. Which, fair, I guess. My point of view is you were attached to it by them. I did not attach you to it. It's not like you said something and then they said something and the thing that they said didn't have your name in it. The attachment to you was the fact that your name was attached to their comment by them. And this is me. This is me. It's black and white for me, to tell you the truth. You're never going to change my view on this. If I'm standing in a room having a debate, and the other person, I'm having a debate with one person, and the other person says, me and Mark think this, and me and Mark think that, even if I do happen to think the thing that they're saying, like even if what they're saying is accurate, I would still be like, whoa, I don't need you to tell him or her what I think. I can tell them what I think because we are the ones in this discussion. Secondly, especially if you're attaching my name and say me and Mark think this, and I don't agree with the thing that you're saying that I think, I'm going to detach myself. No, me and Mark do not think that. You think that. Y'all can have a discussion about that on your own time, but just to clarify, I stand on my own too. So I am not allowing you to add my name to anything that you're saying. All right. And it made me think a little bit when I got off the live, which you can view, by the way, if you get a membership to the channel. If not, you can just kind of listen to what I'm saying here. It brought me back to these arguments that I used to have with my dad when I was growing up. Hi, Mom, and hi, Bryce. Hi, girl. It brought me back to these arguments that I used to have. Actually, the arguments would start with my mom, and my mom and dad were a united front when it came to punishing me. So I would have these arguments with my mom. My dad would get there at the apex of the argument, meaning me and my mom would be arguing, and then it would be escalating and escalating and escalating and escalating and escalating and escalating and escalating, right? And then once it got to the point of no return, there comes my dad. My dad asked my mom what's wrong. She would then go on to inform him of the worst part of what I said. Like, that when you're in peak argument form, it's F your feelings type thing. You're just going to say, you're already agitated, angry at that point, and I have no filter. there's no filter on anything like that. So she would tell him, Mark said this to me. He wouldn't need the context, he wouldn't need the background, he wouldn't need what she said. You cannot say that to your mom. Then he would come and he would start ranting and raving at me. And he would say a lot of things. My mom would be there and he would say, hey, your mom and I think this, and your mom and I think that, and your mom and I think this, and your mom and I think that. And she would say nothing, and then she would leave. And then after she would leave the room, and he would continue with me after she left the room. And I would always have beef with her over that. So I would tell her at a later time, I would be like, why would you be silent in those discussions? When I said this and this and that, and this is, I think that's a messed up thing to say. And he said that you two think this or you think that. And my mom would tell me, I'm not attached to what he said. He said it. Have I ever told you that? And I was like, no, but he said that he's saying it on the behalf of the both of you, and you were standing right there. So yes, in certain instances, I think that in certain circumstances, you do get attached to the other party, and I think you should. Because think of it this way: um, you're trying to get somebody into a job. A friend of yours is like, I'm looking for work, and you know that your job has some openings, so you refer them for the job. Oh, I got Billy. I think Billy will be perfect for the job. Hard worker, dedicated, always shows up on time. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But you just, you want your friend to get the job. You've been in the job for a while. Your name holds some weight in the referral process. Billy Bob comes to the job, starts showing up an hour late every day, getting in fights with people, not a team player, behind on their work, whatever it is, whatever bad attributes. Are they going to look at you and be like, you prefer this person and said that this is your experience with them, and then they come into the job and they're not doing that? Yeah. Not that they're going to get rid of you or anything like that, but they're going to feel like you're responsible for referring this lemon. Or if a kid goes to school, they put them off to school, and then the kid is doing all kind of wild stuff in school. Are they just going to be like, well, a kid is a kid and they're independent when they're here, so they're making their own decisions to do these bad things in school, and we're going to try them as an individual? No. We're going to examine it to the parents. What's happening at home? What is their home life like? I start with, they're going to start examining into their home life. They're going to say, their parents or guardians, what kind of things do they do at home that might be causing you to behave that way? Because they're going to be like, the kid didn't develop all of that on their own. Somebody had to be an influence over that. So I say all that to say, this is not a catch strays scenario. I'll give you a catch strays scenario. I was at work, and a person walked in the building, a client walked in the building, two staff made fun, like we're making fun of that person, but I don't think in a malicious way. Actually, they were making a joke, and it was not in any way malicious. And the person they were making the joke about laughed at the joke. So because I was new to the job actually, so because the subject of the joke laughed, and the two people that were making the joke they were laughing, I felt like they probably have some kind of rapport. Plus, the joke was a little on the funny side. Just to keep it real, it's kind of funny. I chuckled a little bit. It's not like I was doing some hard laugh, but chuckled a little bit, and I think it's done. This person returns to me. I want to say 20 minutes after that whole thing went down, and basically kind of chewed me out and said, "Please refrain from making jokes about me again. It's not funny." And I was like, "What? I didn't make the joke. I didn't say anything. I was just there while y'all were joking around. I didn't say all that because things that you can't say at work. I was just like, I'm sorry you feel that way. You know, I thought that y'all have a rapport, and I thought that you all thought it was funny, laughed. So I happened to laugh a little bit, but for future reference, I'll know that you don't play those games." Basically, what that said to me was, I know I have to treat you with kid gloves from now on. That was really where my mind was with that. Morning, Vicky, and morning, Jacob. Production called time. Yeah, I agree with the comment that you said that the show, because of the blockbuster, is just really not very strategy focused anymore, and it's mostly comp focused. So I feel the same way that you feel about it. It's tough. It's not the show that I know and love. It is not the show that I know and the show that I love. And then it's like such a big miss to lose Rachel on a thing like that. It's like putting someone in jail directly instead of giving them their trial and their moment in court. Listen, if we had to lose her, we had to lose her. I didn't think she was gonna win personally, anyways. I thought that she was gonna make it to about five, and then the group was just gonna decide, hey, it's time to get Rachel out. I always thought that, but I thought that if she goes out, she's gonna go out sitting on the block on one of those two chairs. She's gonna get a chance to campaign. What a crazy twist and a crazy end to the twist, because it does not benefit the show not to have her there at all. It's of no benefit not to have her there. So it's probably, to me, to them, it's like worst case scenario. By the way, all you Rachel, it's rigged for Rachel people. It's not. It was not rigged for Rachel. I think this proves it, because it's of no benefit to Big Brother CBS. It's of zero benefit for her to go out during this twist when there's no feed and stuff. and for her to like the fees to go off for 24 hours or however long it was, more than 24 hours, and pop back on, and she's just not on them. That's a big miss for the show. And then it's like Split House Twist. I don't know what they're even doing with that. But taking my little Jersey pit stop because I have under an hour until I get to Philly. So I wanted to stop and get Starbucks. Listen, I had a little over a half tank of gas. My Civic is amazing on gas. I don't know why I'm parking so far away. You know what it is? I'm so used to. So I've been trying to get in my steps. I'm not gonna need them today. Oh, the weather got much warmer. Jeez. Oh, Lord. I'm getting old. That's what it is. Why is everyone allowed Vito Blockbuster with nature listen? So Morgan, Will, Ashley, Block. They got Vito and Blockbuster with nature listen. Nothing. They would be the last. Good rating. Oh yeah. Production called Brendan because they know they messed up. They're calling the Red Wedding of Big Brother. Not particularly happens in the Big Brother community, but I can imagine. So I don't know in a second. Oh, good for him. Yes, right here. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Thank you. You too. I called my friend and he said, "Are you ready for your race?" Ah, listen, man. I have two frames of thought right now. There's a time when I woke up on a race morning and I felt super excited, like what a time to be alive. And I felt like that every morning when I had a race on my schedule. And then there was a time period where I was just signing up for them, searching for that love again, because my races at the time were attached to, I had a routine, especially on Saturdays, which was get up, do my race, come back, go show my dad my medal and my race picture and stuff in the nursing home. Then when he was gone, mm, this is good. Pumpkin, pumpkin cream cold brew. Mm. Um, then when he was gone, I didn't have a love for doing the races anymore. Then I got back to a point where I like them again. My excitement still isn't the same as what it used to be, but that's okay. Because I learned, a friend of mine recently told me everybody's grieving process is different, and you might not feel like you're still grieving, but you still are. My apologies. Shout out to the seven of you that are still here, though. Oh, never mind. It's one. Shout out to the one of you that's still here. You are one of one for me. Got myself an egg, spinach, and feta wrap. As you can see, they spelled my name with a K, but I don't go the extra mile to tell them it's spelled with a C anymore. Who cares? And I got a cold brew. I wouldn't say that I strongly care who wins. However, anyone except for Kelly and Keanu, because I feel like Kelly and Keanu are like the worst representation of Big Brother for a long time. Kelly first, Keanu second. If I had to choose in order of the last people that I want to get it, it would be Kelly in dead last, followed by Keanu in second to last, and Vinny in third to last. That would be my bottom three in terms of who I want to win Big Brother. And I know some people would probably be like, "Oh, that's hating on them." It's not even them that I'm hating on. It's the fact that
Big Brother itself changed the game so much to where you don't even need social strategy to make the finals. Because now without Rachel, we got 7 people left. A comp beast can just comp it out, and there's 2 comp beasts working together. They have an agreement, they have an alliance by default. And they probably consider Will, Ava, and Ashley bigger targets than Lauren. Well, Will and Ashley bigger targets than Lauren and Ava. Okay, I'm about to be back on my way. They always put an IE instead of a Y at the end. Instead of outside of Vince and Morgan, the rest don't deserve to win. Kelly is a chaos starter on purpose. Yeah, she did say it. She said she's an instigator. There's no game talks. I haven't put the feeds on since yesterday. Fans are speculating Nikki, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up. But if it's really just over for her off of something like that, the way that they fumbled the bag, mega fumble. Oh, now you're doing this again. It's only gonna be for a second though. Don't worry. And we're back. I think that pit stop was not terribly long, and there's still no traffic out here in Jersey. I have about 15 miles until I get into Philly. Yeah, so I was saying this Spartan race I haven't done since 2022. I've done a Spartan race last year, but I haven't done this Spartan race. And actually, what happened to me when I did this Spartan race last time that I was here, it was a really hot day. It was probably about 85 degrees or something like that. Very bright and sunny. I was dehydrated, I didn't stretch enough, and I didn't do enough cardio, which I still have not done enough cardio to prepare for this. And I remember I was running through the stadium, because this particular race is called a Spartan Stadium, where you actually run through an entire baseball stadium, professional MLB stadium, and you do obstacles in between that. So I was running, then I got really tired, my legs started cramping up, and I got a panic attack. And I remember the only reason I even finished that race at all, 2 reasons. Somebody Okay, so when they saw me sitting on the side on the chair and not looking so hot, they were like, "Oh, you want us to call the paramedics?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm not getting carted off of this race. I paid $100 for the thing. Unless I was having a real medical problem, nobody is carting me off of this race and taking me off the course." That was number one. Number two, somebody came over and was like, "How are you doing?" Another person was racing. "How are you doing? How are you feeling? I'm here from Germany. What's your name? Are you injured? How are you feeling?" And because I know my anxiety so well, I was able to just clearly just be like, "I'm having anxiety attacks right now. That's what's happening here. No need to worry. No need for you to stress about it or anything like that. Just leave me here, and eventually it's gonna go away, and then I'll finish the race on my own." And this person was just like, "No, I'm not gonna let you finish this race on your own. I'm going to go step by step with you, and we're gonna cross the finish line together." And I was like, that's never happened to me before. Um, put my pride aside because I was like, that was such a nice offer for that person to make, and we ended up kind of walking a little bit, jogging a little bit, and the two of us crossed the finish line together. It took a little time, but we crossed the finish line, and that's my last memory of that race. And then I said, I cannot